If you've been scrolling through endless lists of tankless water heaters, watching YouTube comparisons, and still feel stuck wondering which model actually lives up to the hype, you're not alone. There's a lot of hype around instant hot water, but the reality in a typical household is a lot messier, especially when you factor in fluctuating water demand, space constraints, and the desire to keep your utility bills from spiraling. The goal of today's review is to cut through the noise and tell you whether the Rheem mid-efficiency 7.0 GPM indoor natural gas tankless water heater makes sense in a real home setting. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the kind of situation where a tankless unit like this shows up in the conversation. Most homeowners who consider a tankless switch are either tired of waiting for a traditional tank to recover, or they're trying to free up space in a cramped utility closet. The Rheem model promises a 7 GPM flow rate, which on paper should be enough to handle multiple showers, a dishwasher, and a kitchen faucet all at once. In practice, that claim hinges on a few variables: the incoming water temperature, the set temperature you choose, and the exact mix of fixtures you run simultaneously. If you live in a region where cold water comes in at 50 F, getting 7 GPM at a 120 F output will push the unit close to its limit. In milder climates, you'll see a bit more headroom. So the first practical question is, do you have the gas capacity and venting flexibility to support a unit that draws 200 watts for ignition and needs proper combustion clearance? If you're dealing with a tight attic or a small basement, rerouting vent pipes might become a hidden cost you hadn't budgeted for. Now, who should actually consider buying this Rheem heater? If you're a family of 3 or 4 that showers back-to-back in the mornings, the 7.0 GPM rating gives you a realistic chance to keep the water hot without a noticeable dip in temperature. The unit's copper and stainless steel construction means it can handle the corrosive nature of natural gas combustion better than some lower-priced aluminum models, which translates into fewer maintenance headaches down the line. Homeowners who already have a natural gas line already in place and are looking to replace an aging tank will find the transition relatively straightforward, especially because Rheem's EcoNet platform lets you monitor the heater remotely so you can catch an error code before it turns into a full-blown outage. For renters or people who can't commit to a permanent installation, the answer is likely no. You'll need a permanent venting solution and a dedicated gas line, which makes the whole idea impractical for short-term living situations. Let's flip the script and identify who should skip this model. If you're on an electric-only setup, this unit is out of the question. You need a gas hookup. Even if you have a gas line, but your home's gas pressure is on the lower side, you may notice that the heater struggles to reach the advertised 7 GPM under peak load, which can leave you with lukewarm showers and a sudden stop mid-cycle. Another common scenario that trips people up is the reliance on a 200-watt electronic ignition. While the ignition is generally reliable, you do need a dedicated circuit that can supply that power continuously. A house with an older panel that's already close to capacity could see the breaker tripping as soon as the heater tries to fire up, especially during a cold snap when the gas valve stays open longer. Moving on to the strengths that actually matter when you turn the knob. The first thing I noticed when the unit finally fired up after a quick 30-second warm-up was the consistency of temperature across different fixtures. I ran a kitchen faucet at a full 2 GPM while a shower in the master bathroom was pulling about 2.5 GPM, and the temperature held steady at the preset 120 F. That stability is something you only get when the internal flow sensor and the control board work in harmony, and Rheem's EcoNet integration seems to keep those parameters tight. The second practical advantage is the ability to fine-tune the temperature via a simple digital display. Many competing models force you into a high-low dial that can be finicky. Here you set the exact degree, which is a small but significant convenience for families that need water for both bathing and cooking at different temperatures in the same morning. On the flip side, the weaknesses become evident when you push the unit beyond its sweet spot. If you try to run a dishwasher and a shower plus a laundry tub at the same time, the flow drops noticeably, and you'll feel a subtle click as the heater throttles back to preserve its temperature set point. That's not a catastrophic failure, but it does reveal the practical limit of the 7 GPM rating. It's not a magic unlimited stream. Another point worth noting is the venting requirement. The unit's combustion chamber needs a properly sized vent pipe, and the manual recommends a minimum 3-inch diameter. If your home already has a